What's going on, everybody? Been a week or so since I dropped a video. Started my new YouTube channel, had my first video on there a week and a half ago. Again, most of my videos up to this point have been geared towards other agents, talking about EXP and the benefits EXP happens to have and the reason why they should switch brokerages. But, my YouTube channel kicking off now. I want to do an all things real estate channel. So we're going to do this for buyers and sellers, a little bit of knowledge for everybody. I wanted to talk about the current market we're in at the moment. I've dealt with nothing but buyers since I've become an agent. And one thing they don't realize right off the back is the kind of market we're in at the moment. We are in an extremely aggressive seller's market. And what is the seller's market? It's pretty much what it sounds like. All the circumstances and everything has created the real estate market to be in the favor of the sellers. The sellers have most of the power, if not all the power, in the market that we're in right now. And the causes for this is, at the moment, and there's a lot of reasons to cause a market to go buyer or seller, but right now the moment is, one, very low interest rate for buyers. So there's a lot of people trying to take advantage of the low interest rate as a buyer. And two, we're still dealing with COVID and the pandemic. So a lot of people are still working from home. A lot of people don't want, even if they're thinking about selling or were thinking about selling before the pandemic hit, they don't want people that could possibly have COVID without even knowing to be touring their house, get their kids sick, get their grandma sick, whatever the case may be. So that has created a supply and demand chain, way more demand for houses than there is supply of good houses. So what does this mean for sellers? If you're a seller, you love this market. You're going to get multiple offers, most likely multiple over ask, way over ask. 30 to 45 day closings are a must. You might get people 20, 25, 30,000 over ask, and you're going to be able to sell your house in 1 to 3 days. That's the truth. You're going to be able to get a very competitive offer in 1 to 3 days on this market. You probably don't even have to do an open house in this market. That's where it's at. I had a buyer when we got outbid 6-7 times. We showed 30, 40 houses, and we got creative and actually went ahead and was proactive and put in an offer on a house before it hit the market, and it was very aggressive right off the get-go, and we were the number one offer. And he did put it on the market for a couple of days, but because we were the first one, we showed we were serious. Our terms were amazing. We're going to talk about that as well. Terms if you're a buyer in this market. And we got it under contract, and we're scheduled to close May 24th, which is exciting. I'm excited for her. So what does this mean if you're a buyer? If this is a buyer, this means you're going to have to be aggressive. All right. No coming under ask. I wouldn't even come ask if you really like the house. It's not going to get it done in this market. 30, 45 day closings, the max. 60 day closings aren't going to get it done. If you have another home to sell and you're contingent on you're selling your home, that's not going to get it done. You might have to, waive the appraisal. You might have to waive inspections. Terms, again, terms. The best offer, get creative. On a two, there's the bigger the house sale, typically the bigger the escrow or deposit check. But again, that one house that we got under contract was $200,000, and we had a $4,000 deposit just to show we were very serious and we weren't going to back out of the deal. So as a seller and a buyer, those are things you have to expect. Sellers, keep in mind that eventually it will become a buyer market again. And, I've been saying, sellers, now is the time to sell if you want to get top dollar for your home. If before you didn't have a lot of equity in your house, if you were thinking about selling before, whatever the case may be, now is the time to sell. And you might say, yes, but if I sell, then I have to deal with the market. That's true. No doubt about it. But there's a couple things you can do with that. Like I said, it's a seller's market. Basically, the sellers make the rules right now. The sellers make the terms. So you could very easily come back with the buyer and say, listen, we're going to do a lease back. So we'll sell that, we'll sell you the house when we close on the house, but then we're going to lease the house back to us until we find suitable housing, however long that may be. And, like I said, in this market, you're going to get somebody to agree to that. There's no doubts about it. You won't have a problem getting somebody to agree to at least back for you. Like I said, if you were very close with your equity, if you didn't have equity, if you were upside down in your house at some point, now is the time to sell. Get out of that negative equity and make some money on your house. Buyers, markets come and go. The good news is someday it will be a buyer's market again. The bad news is it's not today, and it doesn't look like the seller's market is going away anytime soon. So those are the things to think about. If you're a buyer right now, you're thinking about buying or something like that, it's tough. I'm going to prepare you right off the get-go. You can always contact me for a buyer's consultation. We can talk independently about what's going on with you, your finances, your credit score, those kind of things, and what you're looking for. And I'll have a real honest, straightforward conversation with you of what you can expect. If you're a seller, same thing, contact me. You're happy right now if you're a seller or you're thinking about selling. You're going to be very happy with, what you end up being. If you're a buyer, you're probably going to get frustrated, but that's why you need an experienced realtor who has, managed this market and has navigated this market. Like I said, so far, all my deals since I've become a realtor have been buyers, and I've gotten all of them under contract in this market. So I know what I'm doing. I know how to get creative. Again, terms. That's what it's all about if you're a buyer in a seller's market. So that's my video for today. I appreciate you guys listening. Share, like, subscribe, and get in contact with me. Thank you.